Hey, everybody.
Hey
Let me
y'all.
make myself bigger for 1 second so people can see the stuff.
Yes.
This is the most important thing right here. Hold on.
Mm-mm. 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 Why? Hey everyone. Hey y'all. Happy Sunday. Welcome to So Good. Oh, Delonda has her. Oh, you've been testing out your settings with that notepad. I love it. I love it. Looks so good. Okay. So, welcome to So Good, everyone. If this is your first time here, this is a weekly live that we do dedicated to embroidery. And Delonda and I both have a Ricoma Marquee 2001 multi needle embroidery machine. And we're going to be sharing some troubleshooting tips that we've learned over the time of us having our machines. Some of these things will also work with single needle machines. So, this is just good general embroidery information for you to have based on our experiences.
I would let y'all see Milo, but I'm
Exactly.
a little bit embarrassed at what Madison has done. Maimone, you might need to check into the Facebook group too. Maimone and Jennifer Ricci.
What has Madison done to Milo?
I don't like it.
Did she get him groomed?
She did it herself.
Well, I mean, she's practically a stylist. I can't. I can't imagine it not being great.
It's not great.
I'll take your word. I can only imagine.
Let's just put it this way. She always refers to him as her princess.
Yes, I know. Does he have a bow?
No,
Did she put some curls in his hair?
she polished his toenails, I can tell you that, and they're glittery.
And I bet he just sat there and allowed her to do it. I'm pretty sure he just sat there like an angel, allowing her to do whatever she wants.
His hair she didn't do anything to his hair. It's the clothes. It's the clothes that she bought him. And I just did not like it. Diane, I received a package. I received a box. I received a lot of boxes. uh and one box didn't have a name on it. So that might be from you, but so I'm not sure. It's pink glitter enduring heart design.
Mm,
Maybe it's actually a dress. It's a
mm.
full dress.
Oh,
I bet he doesn't, Kristen. I bet he does not.
Kristen, I was thinking the same thing.
Y'all want to see this male dog in a dress? I don't want him to wear a dress, Kristen.
Oh, is that Milo?
Hmm.
What is he doing? Is he having a great
He
time?
can hear that I'm talking to you.
So he wants to come say hi. Oh, Milo. You might as well go get him and so he can say hi to everyone.
I'll see if the girls will go get him. I'm not going to.
You might as well. He wants to say hi. Mary Brown says sounds like he's not happy either.
I'm not happy either. Hold on 1 second. But hey, everybody.
Oh, today's gonna be very fun, guys. Today's gonna be very fun. We have a lot to talk about. I have my notepad ready for us. and I have my notes of what we want to talk about. And yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Oh, bobbin. I'm just
All
writing
right.
more notes.
So today, you guys, hopefully you have your notepads because we're not making anything today. Today is all about just troubleshooting and helping you just get through a project because really, hold on for a second.
Shay Shay.
A lot of a lot of what you're doing before you even get started with the project is going to be troubleshooting, and that's just the truth. And I know Patrice will agree with me when I say this. As content creators, y'all see the tutorial part of the content. You don't see the back end where it's preparing to make the thing. Because no matter what machine we're using, if we're using a WeCreate, if we're using a Cricut, if we're using a Romeo, a Juliet, a heat press, a DTF printer, the embroidery machine, no matter what machine it is going to require some maintenance. It is going to require some maintenance that you have no idea about. Like, I didn't know I was going to have to know how to do this. And a lot of it is going to be learn as you go. I want to just be clear about that. So, yes, when we're doing tutorials, you're seeing the process of making the thing, but please know that there's a lot that happens before the thing is actually made.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter what machine. So people can say, oh, I'm not going to get a Ricoma because there's a lot of maintenance. There's a lot of maintenance with no matter what machine you purchase. I promise you. And for anyone who says that that's not true, they're not being honest. And neither one of us work for Ricoma, and neither one of us are trying to encourage you to buy anything that you don't want to buy. All right, y'all ready for this foolery?
I think you need to be bigger. We need to see good. We need to see good. What does Milo have on? Oh, what? Oh, look at him. Milo, why? Why? My, I know what color is that. Is that like a Christmas color? It looks very Christmassy. Oh, Milo. My, what? Milo nails are long. What? He's just like, I'm here. Look at look at him. Aw.
How you feel about that? You don't like it?
I don't think he
Don't
likes
like
it. I don't think he likes it. Look at his face.
it. Go on. Madison, lay him out. Go on. Go party. Go,
Oh,
get back.
what is going on in this house today?
Yes, Madison did that. It's a dress. Wanda, I'm with you. I was at the mall with Morgan. Madison was like, I found the cutest dress for you. He doesn't need a dress. Madison, hold on, y'all.
What in the world is going on, guys? There's a lot going on these days. A lot. Like a lot, a lot. I don't know. Oh my lord.
Okay. Yeah, so I wasn't very happy about that. All right, so are we good on that? All right. So Patrice has notes, and I'm just gonna kind of check it off as we go along. Kristen, I don't think he looks adorable at all. I don't. There's so many other things she could have bought with that money, but whatever. Um, yeah. No, no, Shay, they don't stop stressing you when they get older. They do more. They do more. Cause like, what made you think of that? Um, okay. So Patrice, you have a lot of notes. Where would you like to start?
So today we're going to be talking a little bit about troubleshooting. The first thing, you already kind of talked about it a little bit, as far as like we kind of talked a little bit before the live started. One of the most important things to do is to test your designs out. So even if you don't digitize or anything like that, it is good to have some knowledge of the digitizing process and what to look for, and have a software. It doesn't have to be an expensive digitizing software, but a software where you can open your designs up and look at them. Now, do you have to have a digitizing software in order to get the designs on your machines? No, you don't. You can have a USB. You can literally download and save it to the USB and put it onto your computer and never look at it. But every designer designs a little bit differently. And it is good for you to have some sort of software so that you can look at it and you can kind of see the order of your design. You can kind of see the stitches. If something looks incorrect, because it'll show you in your software if something looks correct. Like if you look at it, you can see, okay, that doesn't really look right. Let me get a realistic view of it. So that is the first place I would start prior to even putting it on the machine and trying to stitch it out, is look at your designs always, just to see your order and how things are going to stitch. It's like Delonda said, you're going to have to put in work before you actually begin. So your first troubleshooting is going to be you preparing, like you making sure your machine is properly oiled. There's certain parts of the machine that needs oil, especially the ones that we have. We have like two different types of oil that's recommended for us to use. We have like a lithium grease, and then we have the embroidery machine oil. And depending on where you're going to be placing that oil or grease, you need to know, because that's what makes your machine flow. I recently had to get new bobbin cases, and the pigtail on my bobbin case broke in that machine. The replacement that I received,
We'll make you bigger, Patrice.
okay, the replacement that I received, I ordered from Amazon. But look at all the oil. I don't know if you guys can even see. Even the bobbin case needs to be oiled. You may wonder why you're having thread breaks. You may wonder, why it's just not stitching smoothly. It's because your machine is dry. So you need to make sure that it's oiled correctly. So this is one, it comes already oiled. Delonda, when you got your machine, did you notice that it had like oil on it when you were kind of setting up, and you look at you like, where's this oil coming from?
That's a lot of oil. It's a lot of oil.
A lot of oil.
Yeah.
And that's what makes your machine run smoothly. So that's the first place you want to start. Before you even get into all the other things, your design, make sure it's correct. Make sure your machine is oiled. I think every 4 hours, we have a note on our machine that tells us, when to
often. Yeah.
So that's good. If your machine doesn't have that, I would strongly recommend you either putting it on your calendar or put a sticky note or something on your machine that tells you when to oil your machine. So that's the first place where I would start. Designs, and then oiling those machines before you even press go.
So let's go back, because you said the first thing was to look at the design are you talking about on the computer?
Mm-hmm.
And do a realistic view.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say you do a realistic view of the design and it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
What would you suggest doing after that?
So after that, if everything looks great, you've oiled your machine, you check your order to know what's going to stitch first, know what you're placing it on. So if you have a small design, just know that every small design cannot go perfectly on a hat or stitch out correctly on a hat. Hat designs are a little bit different. But after that, no matter what, I would do a test stitch
On
on a regular
stabilizer.
of stabilizer. If you have like sometimes like I have fabric that I have that's just cut up, you can even put a piece of fabric down with stabilizer though. So you can do your cutaway stabilizer, do a test stitch on top of that, maybe load it up twice, or maybe put a piece of fabric, put the stabilizer, hoop that. But don't put it on your garment. Don't put it on whatever you want to stitch. Let's say you want to make some hoodies, or maybe you're putting it on a leather belt. Like whatever you're doing, do not stitch onto that first. Do a test stitch,
Mm-hmm.
because that is when you'll be able to tell, okay, something is wrong. It may not be the design, but then you'll say, okay, maybe it might be something wrong with the machine. And then we're going to get into other things that could cause something to go wrong. So these are all things that you can kind of nip in the bud at that test stitch. You can kind of nip all that in the bud, and you won't ruin any of your garments.
I also think, like, if we go back to looking at design, I think it's also important to not just do a realistic view, but do a slow redraw.
Mm-hmm.
So to see what's the actual starting point and ending point, because I learned that from you, is that, like if you're doing letters, let's just say, for example, I was stitching out my name, and I'm using, let's just say every letter is separate and they're all in caps. Well, for each letter, the start and stopping point should not necessarily be the same, because you want the end of the first stitch to start close to where the next letter is going to be. So I think even just doing the slow redraw to see what are the stopping and starting points.
I think that's great advice. Yes. Yes.
And then saving the file as whatever, the RDE first, but that might not be the name of it for every machine. I just know for the Ricoma it's the RDE, but I don't know what it is for other machines.
Yes. So, and but that's also a good thing for everybody to know, because, like you said, everybody has different machines. Like these Sew Goods, yes, we use this machine, but it's for people who just love to embroider or learning to embroider. So if you don't have a Ricoma and you have a brother machine, then your file exchange that you're going to save your files as is different. So if Delonda and I are on here and we're like, okay, we're going to give away this file, it's a DST because it fits our machine, right? It's for our machines. You're not going to necessarily be able to open that up on a brother machine because it's not a PES file. So that's another thing. You need to know what file type that your machines need. If you're downloading something online, you need to know what your machine can read. So that is another thing. Because I do hear people say, well, it's not opening up on my machine, but that's because the file type is not correct.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Any questions so far, you guys? Because I think the computer part is part of the troubleshooting before you even get to the machine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's two separate things.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't see any. So Enduring Heart Design says that they reordered their letters to limit the jumps. Yes, to limit your jump stitches, definitely.
What does that mean, that reorder the letters?
So let's say, you know how sometimes, I think the other week we were doing a file and the stitches started at the back, like it started maybe at the S.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, like depending on how they digitize, or if they auto digitize, or however it's digitized, let's say the word love, you may start at the E and then it'll jump all the way to the L, and then it may jump to the V and then back to the L. So that's like to reorder it, to avoid all of those extreme jump stitches that really add on time to the stitching. So
I don't know a lot. When I say I know the very, 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 very basics, I'm talking about the what's before infant, what's before a thought of that. Okay, I'm way at the very, very basics. But what I was telling Miles, because he's just getting into this, is to when you are doing the digitizing part of it, is to just put it in the order you want it to go.
mm-hmm, Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you want me to open the software and kind of talk about what I'm talking about, but I will. Let me see.
That's fine because that way everybody will have a visual. Crystal, I don't honestly, PES, DST, those are the file exchanges, kind of like SVG. I know what SVG stands for, but a simple Google, like just Google what PES and Google what DST actually stand for. Of course, those are just acronyms, but I've never looked to see exactly what they stand for. I just know that those are the file exchanges that we use for certain embroidery machines. So DST, I think DST is more of a universal one. Not really. There's a lot of machines that use DST files, but that's kind of, it just depends. So Brothers use PES, Husqvarna's use HUS, and they use something else. So yeah. Thank you, Stephanie Calloway. Clean it every 3 days. So that's another thing with the machine too. We're going to talk a little bit about that too, because sometimes I showed you guys my bobbin case. Y'all, like, you have to clean this out too. You have to clean out your bobbin case. You have to clean out your embroidery arm. You have to clean out all of that. Yeah. So, thank you. But hey, everybody coming in. Yeah. Chris will just Google it because I can't tell you what PES stands for. I can't tell you what DST stands for. I just know that those are the file exchanges that we use.
Let me see if I.
Like JPEG, SVG, PDF. Like that's what it is. It's just a file exchange.
Let me find something to bring in. Import.
Sam, what do you mean by the funky colors with the DST files?
Like when sometimes when you bring in something different, the colors will be weird.
Oh, okay. So let's say, so that's just how the person digitizes it. That's so if they digitize, let's say if it's not all combined, then each thing will be a different color. And some people do that so that you can have more creative, freedom to choose the colors however you want. Some people do that. But that's why it's good to have like the software. At least the software that you can, there's different types of software. There's software that you don't really have to digitize much, but you can rearrange things with it. I don't know is it So What Pro or So What? There's different, and you can kind of group your colors how you want them. You can change your colors in the software so that when it stitches out, or when you put on your machine, you can select your color stops that way. But it does happen.
I'm having a hard time finding something. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah. Hey, Sean, for Brother and Baby Locks. Yeah, that's what, but somebody was asking, I think Crystal was asking what it stands for, what PES stands for, and what DST stands for.
Okay, let me share my screen now. I found something.
How often should you clean your machine? Lily, honestly, probably every time you get ready to use it. Every time you get ready to use your machine, I would clean it. So, case in point, so where the bobbin case goes, you want to make sure that that is clean and clear of any loose thread that may build up in there. My bobbin case broke, the pigtail broke. I spent maybe a good 45 minutes looking for it. I could not find it. And before it broke, it was stitching out fine. After it broke, I kept getting a thread break. And then I kept getting like false thread breaks because of it, because it was somewhere in there. So, we're ready. So clean it out every time you're getting ready to use your machine.
Okay, so this is just an SVG that I got from Creative Fabrica. So I use this on my welcome mat that's actually still at my door, right? And all I did was click on, I brought it in the SVG and I just clicked on auto digitize so you can see like the order of things right here, right? So if I look over here, if we were comparing this to like Cricut Design Space or even Leonardo Design Studio, you would see, you would call this like the layers panel, right? So it's like what's going to happen first in the panel. So if I click right here on this first, the one right here where it says number one, you can see that the W is what's selected. If I click on the next part, it starts at the E and goes all the way over. Then here's the F, then the ALL is together. Then this middle part of the pumpkin, and then this last part is the outside part of the pumpkin. Well, if I didn't want it to stitch in that order, I can reorder it. But what also is important, let me kind of bring this up and come down a little bit. If I just click on this W, right, and I wanted to kind of look at the start, is that big enough or no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I wanted to look at the starting and stopping point of the W, right here, you see this red dot? Y'all see that red dot very well?
Mm-hmm. You can see it.
Okay. Hey, Kevin. Okay, so if you see this red dot, that's actually where the stitch will end, right? So if I'm just thinking about the W by itself, that's where the stitch on the W will end. But if I move this red dot, I can see there's a green dot behind it. The green dot is the starting point. So I might not want the starting and the stopping point to be at the same spot. So I might want the starting point to be like right here. And I might, let me kind of bring it down. And I might want the end of the stitch to be over here or even somewhere down here so that once this W is finished, it can go move over to the E. No, understand. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. And it's looking good.
And then if I just click out, you'll see that it kind of cleans up the stitch a little bit too. Also, let me just zoom out a little bit so you can see the rest of the word, right? You see all of this, and you can see this red dot right here on welcome. So this means that once this finishes stitching out, if I don't make any changes to it, that means it's going to stop in the middle of the O. And that's a little bit weird, right? Because don't you think it should stop at the end of the E and then maybe start here at this E? Let's make it bigger. And this has a lot of lines.
Those split lines or
I think these are angle lines.
Angle. I only see two. Yeah, those are angle. Like the green lines are the split lines.
Oh.
Yeah, the yellow ones are the angle.
All of mine look green. Oh, no, I see right here. So these are green. Okay. Okay, so look, right here, here's this red dot. Let me go back to the select tool and let me come over here to this shape. It's called the shape thing right here. Hold on. I'm gonna go to this one. If I move this over to the end, well, here's the green dot. I'm just moving it over here. Let's move it like right there. And then here's the the end right there. And I put this right there. Let's see what it does. That looks good. It actually looks really good. I ain't even gonna lie. It looks really. Oh, that looks so good. Okay. And then I can do the same thing. So here's the F. You see it's ending right there. But if I move the green, I might want to start right here and then let it end over there. Then let's look at this. They have this end over here, but let's move this over so it can just, fall in line. That looks good. Let's see this. Oh, look. It could start here. It could actually start there, but let's see what it would look like there. And then same thing with this. Let's move this down, move this up. And then let's look at the order over here. So first we have the W, then it's going to go on to the E and the rest, then the F, then the ALL, then the middle of the pumpkin, then the outside part of the pumpkin. But let's just say I didn't like it like that. Let's just say I didn't want it. Maybe I want the outside part to be first and then the inside. I can click right here on number 6. Let me move this. I can click right here on number 6, right click and go to order, and I can move it back one. So I could make this be before the outside part, like this. So then this will be last. But you get to decide all of that in the software. And I think it's important to do this part before you even go over to the machine.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Angel. Angel, what time is it there? In the Netherlands. All right, Patrice, tell me what I missed or what I need to, what.
I think that was good. I think you explained it really well. You can also, at this point, you can also change the color. So let's say if you wanted your pumpkin to be a different color, you could change that. And what that would do is that would just change it would add a color stop for you. So when you take it to the machine, so if we took it to the machine without changing the colors, you're only going to have one color stop. So you'll have to use the same color for everything. But Delonda's already in the system. She can change her colors up. So that way, when she gets to the machine, she'll be able to select 2 different colors. So you can do, different things before. That's why I really think it's important to have some sort of software that you can make changes, maybe fix something up a little bit, like how Delonda was able to change quite a bit here in this one little setting. And then the redraw, do you want to show everyone the redraw?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
I always come up here. I know there's another faster way to get to it.
Do the redraw? That's fine. And so it's going to redraw. It's going to show you exactly how it's going to stitch out. Okay. You can speed it up a little bit if you want. But this is important so you'll know how it should stitch. I'm just going to keep going. And then you also have your stop sheet. It's called your color sheet or color stop sheet that you could print out before you get to your machine. So especially like if you'll need to know, like, what if you're doing applique? You need to know that you're going to have to stop at certain parts, certain points. So thanks, Diane. Thank you. But look, that's looking really good.
It is. It is looking good.
And at this point, you would be able to stop it. You would be able to see if there's any breaks in the stitching or anything like that. That's looking really good.
And so even though this is looking good, what Patrice was saying was that even though like you got your design, you've done a realistic view, you've done a slow redraw, she was saying that you still should not just go straight to stitching it onto whatever you're going to stitching it on. You should go to stitching it onto some stabilizer just to make sure, so you're not wasting your material, you're not wasting a shirt, you're not wasting a hoodie or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So right now, Delonda has 2 color stops. She has okay, so you see where she has on the side, that's going to be 3 color stops right there. The way it is now, because it's not sorted with colors, you have the first part, welcome fall, and then you have the pumpkin, and then you have the 3rd color stop, which is going to be the inside of that pumpkin. So if you want to put it all together, you can put the colors together, or if you want to leave it like that, then you can. But if it's like that, you'll still be able to change the color of that pumpkin when you get into your machine.
How do you put the colors together?
So at the top, so click at the top. You see on the right in the layers panel where it says all items, just click all items.
Uh-huh.
And then at the top, there is the color stop option up there. Look at the top, go over. It looks like 4 squares together. 1 square is white over to the left. Yep. And
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
it'll sort all the colors that are the same. It'll sort them all together. So that way you just have 2 color stops. When you get to the machine, everything is going to stitch out like that.
Mm-hmm. And then this will also tell you like the size. So this is the height of this is 8, and is the width is 8 and the height is 4, and this is 11,000 stitches. It tells you everything. It tells you how many trims, how many stops, how many colors. It tells you all of this.
Mm-hmm. Crystal, what do you mean? What if you need to redraw? Like if you need to redraw again? Oh, I think she's good. Okay. All right. So I think that's good. Do you want to go to file and then do a print preview? If you do print. So this is all a part of getting started so that you can have the least amount of problems starting. So you know that your file is good. So this is the print redraw. And so with the print print preview, you'll be able to get a picture of your design. And so right now it's showing you what your center point is. It's showing you exactly how it's going to stitch out onto your shirt, but it also shows you that center part. So that center line is going in between the C and a little bit of the L. Okay, so that's going to be the center. This also helps if you can print it out as the exact size. It also helps if you still need help with lining it up on your shirt and your garment. This helps a lot. So at the top, you see that little arrow that's going to go to the right. Click onto that where it has page setup, and then it has like the arrow to go to the next page. So the next page is going to be, sometimes depending on if it's a large design, it'll break it up for you, and so that you can actually piece it together. But this is now the color analysis, and this is how it's going to stitch in the order. So it's already letting you know that the first thing it's going to stitch out is the welcome fall with the little piece inside of the pumpkin, because that's all the same color. The second thing that's going to print is your pumpkin. Is always good for you to have, especially if it's something that you haven't designed. It's always good for you to have so that you'll know the order of how everything is going to print out. Most softwares have this capability of being able to produce one of these color sheets for you.
You know, I should have looked at one of the files from Creative Fabrica that we used last week just to see the difference. Even though I couldn't change anything, but just to see, you know.
Yeah. How it's going to stitch out and stuff like that.
So Patrice, I'm still not sure about even how to use this. I've never used this before.
Mm-hmm.
I've never used it.
You never. So what I do sometimes, like even before I started using the Mighty Hoops so much, which with that, it's just a lot easier to do it. Like I would literally place this onto the shirt and then hoop it so that I would know exactly where where I needed to place my hoop. So let's say I'm going to get a sheet of paper, right? Let's say I have this colorful top. Sorry. I'm going to place my sheet, like that sheet right there. I'll place it in the center. Like I'll place it exactly where it's supposed to be. It's almost like if you were printing a sublimation sheet, right?
Yeah.
And you know how to place it. You know exactly where to place it. So that's how I would use that. And I would place it here. Then I would hoop it. So then like I would tape it down, and then because at first I didn't know how to do the placement either, but that helped me. Then I would place it down, place the hoop on, but the design would already be on the shirt taped down for me. And then that would help me with placement. But with the Mighty Hoops, you don't really have to have that. If you're using the station, you pretty much get it perfect every time. But that's how I use that.
Okay. But still, how do you line it up to make sure it's gonna start where you? I don't know. I still don't understand.
How do you line it up? So if it's in the hoop, it's gonna start like if it's, let's say, okay. So let me find a hoop, a regular hoop. So if I have, let me get one of my Ricoma hoops, because the other hoops, well, I'll get a mighty hoop. It's fine. So let's say this is the design, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna pretend a little bit. So let's say this is the design, right? So I'm gonna put this on the shirt first. So I'm gonna place this just like how I would do a sublimation shirt. So even if I had to use some of the t-shirts rulers, so that I'll know exactly where to place it. But you're gonna print that out.
Yeah.
And so I'll put it, let's say I have the t-shirt ruler here, and I know that this is gonna go, that this is gonna go right here, right?
Yeah.
Once I know that I want my design to go right here, that paper is gonna go here. I'm gonna keep it down on the shirt.
But how do you your machine doesn't know that paper is there, so I don't understand how you line it up so that's how do you line your machine up with that paper?
We're not lining it. We're going to line it up with the hoop. So the paper isn't really, I'm not really concerned with the paper and the machine. Remember, everything, the machine is going to be stitching inside of the hoop. So if you have this, so this should be your centermost part of your design. So let's say if you go back to the regular screen, the design screen, if you click on a hoop and your design is perfectly centered in the hoop,
yeah,
then that's what you want. Remember, you're going to be lining your things. You're going to be lining your shirt up. Even if you're using, let's say if you're using your mighty hoop. Remember, this is the center part, right?
Yeah.
You know that line that's in the middle of that sheet?
Yeah.
That's your center part too. So you want to make sure it's aligned with this. And then you also want to make sure it's aligned with this, but it's all going to be on your shirt. That's what mighty hoops are, just easier for you to make sure that happens. But that's what you're going to, those crosshairs on that design, that's what you're aligning with your hoop to make sure it's centered, to make sure that paper is centered. But you're doing that on your shirt too, to make sure that it's properly placed on a shirt.
I guess I'm so visual. I can't visualize it, but let me print that out and just do it. Let me just print it out. Let me just print it out. Cause
See, that's what enduring hard. The paper allows you to trace and make sure that your needle is going to embroider in the same place as the paper. But you want it. So let's say, pretend like this gratitude is everything is the design, right? That's the paper. We want to make sure that that's going to be aligned in the hoop correctly. With the paper, you have your crosshairs to make sure that it's the placement. It's about your placement.
I don't have paper in my printer.
Renee said that she did this too, and it helped her when she was doing her beanies to make sure that they were hooped correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. So this is this is because you don't want to ruin your shirts. You don't want to have a design that's not correct. Like that's with hooping can be a little bit challenging. You don't want to start your embroidered design all the way down here. So this all helps. It all plays a role in making sure that you line everything up correctly.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah, I understand tracing. I just don't understand how this. I understand tracing. I've done tracing. I just
Get a shirt.
I'm not gonna get a shirt. I'm gonna do some stabilizing.
In the center. Yes. So generally you want to make sure when you're doing your design and you know the hoop size, you want to make sure you can let the digitizing software know the hoop size that you're going to be using. Once you let the machine knows that, the digitizing software know that, you can make sure it's perfectly centered in the hoop so that when you hoop it, it's going to be perfectly centered when you begin to stitch it. especially if you're using the same hoop size. So that's how that would kind of work. How to center the needle also. Just if you use the printout to center the needle also, you don't want your design to be crooked. Down. I was saying had Miss Zelda Brown. Oh, it's printing. Oh, you gotta put paper in the machine in your printer. So that she also marks crosshairs on her garment and then aligns the print out with the garment. Delonda's using Ricoma Lux.
So here's my, let me stop sharing, cancel. So here's my mighty hoop. And here's my printout. You're saying just put it right here in the middle.
So, but before you even get to that point, so let's say you're doing a shirt, right? A shirt. You want to know exactly where it's going to go on your shirt first before you even hoop it, right? Because if you hoop it, you can hoop it anywhere, and the hoop could be too low or the hoop can be too high, and then you'll be stitching up here, or you may stitch a belly shirt. So you want, let's say you have a shirt first. Let me grab a shirt.
This is my shirt. This is stabilizer.
Yeah, but you already got it. You already have it on there. So you already have the hoop on. So let's say you have your shirt, right? I'm gonna put this down here. So we have our shirt, right? This is my printout sheet, right? With my crosshairs and everything on there. So I'm gonna put this. I know that I want this to stitch out right here. We have 4 fingers down. I know that I want this to stitch out right here. I have my crosshairs here to kind of show me where everything is supposed to be, right? Now I'm going to take my bottom hoop and place it in. I'm going to take this down because this is exactly where I want it to go. I'm then going to put the bottom hoop in, and then I'm going to align the top hoop to where it's in the center. And I'm going to know that it's in the center because those crosshairs are going to show me exactly where my hoop should be, how to perfectly place the hoop on top. Once I put this on here, I can take this off and put. Now, if you want to take it to your machine and trace it to make sure it goes around this paper, you can, to do the tracing, to make sure your needle starts in the center, wherever you want it to start. But at this point, once I have it like this, I remove my paper because I know that it's perfectly centered with the hoop, and that design is going to stitch exactly where I want it to stitch out. No? Still no?
Sure.
Just use your mighty hoop. Just use your hooping station. Just the hoop. If you have the hooping station, you don't necessarily have to really worry about that too much. But that's how I do it. That's what I do. I don't do it that much because I have the hooping station. But before I had the hooping station, that's how I would know. Like it would be aligned exactly where I want it. So if I want it 4 fingers down, and then just to make sure that it's here, then your crosshairs is going to match the little circle, your center point of your hoop. It's going to match that.
So when I get ready to trace the design and I have my first presser foot down, the needle should be lined up right here.
That first needle, but then when you start to stitch it around, it's going to stitch around perfectly around your design. It's going to trace perfectly around your design. Yeah. Because that's going to be your center point. You want to try it?
Yeah.
That's going to be your center point. And then it will stitch out. That helps, like, doing something like this, let's say if you have a big order, or you have a few orders, and you want everything to be perfect the same way. You don't want anybody to have a design that's too far up or a design that's too far down. That's a way to make sure that it is aligned correctly. The hat upside down. It also helped to not put the design on the hat upside down. Nice. Mark where you want it on the shirt crosshairs. Yes. And take the design to the beanie if I want it, and then use the paper to center the design in the hoop. But then you don't have a mighty hoop, and you want to make sure design is straight and centered. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. And hey, everybody just coming in. Matching with the pen might help. All right, let's see how this is going to go. I think it's going to go great. I think it's going to go great.
I just cannot visualize it, but I'm curious.
We're going to see.
But anyway, so the moral of this story is
So,
all of this happens before you even start.
yes. Yes. Before you even started.
Before you even do one single thing, you do this, all of this.
Yep. Part. This is honestly, this is all included in like testing your design and just prepping. So make sure you do proper maintenance. Make sure you check your design. Do a redraw. Maybe switch some things around. Yeah. And Jesse, and that's something I do. Like I usually cut it to just the design on the paper. So all that stuff at the top and the bottom, like all that extra space, I would cut that off. Hey, Twyla, Nafisa, and Victoria. Welcome in, everyone. Today we're talking about troubleshooting your designs and just embroidery in general. If you have any issues going on with embroidery, we're just going to cover some of the few things that we've encountered.
Okay, so I did do a trace, and it looks perfect. It looks great.
It looks good?
Yeah.
Yay. That is awesome. But if you don't like, I think that works good. Like if you don't have mighty hoops, then and you don't use the hooping station, I think that works perfect for you. I think more so without mighty hoops though. I think it works better for me at least without the mighty hoops. The mighty hoops works good with the station, but if you have like the regular hoops with the machine, I think that works better because that's actually a lot more manual than the mighty hoops is.
So honestly though, I didn't feel like I needed this.
To print it out to do it. But see, if you do the regular, that's what I'm saying with the mighty hoops. I don't use that all. Like if I'm using the regular Ricoma hoops, yes, the mighty hoops with the hooping station, I don't need it. And then still the hoops at the top when you go to put it on top, like you know how the mighty hoops just kind of like literally jumps out of your hand onto the bottom hoop. You don't have any real control over that. So that's why I'm like the hooping station. But if you're using like a regular, like the regular hoops, you have more control of placement.
So I'm stitching that out so we can just see it. But so let's kind of recap. Before you even start, look at the design, do a realistic view, do a slow redraw to trace it out and see like what it's going to look like. Maybe make sure you double check the order of things. Check the order of the stitch to see like if it's all in the right order, kind of like what I just showed on the on Chroma or whatever software you have. What
Mm-hmm.
else? Before you get to the machine, what else?
Um, so before you even get to the machine, another thing that we're going to talk about too, that we all like, I'm guilty of not doing it, is making sure you're using the right needles. So make sure you use the right needles because that could also cause you issues and problems. Okay. So depending on the type of material that you're using, your thread, there's so many different things that play a role in making sure you have less drama with your machines. But definitely your needles matter. So you need to know what material you're going to use and if you need to switch that needle out based on those materials, because that could cause you like thread breaks and just other issues. But what else before you get there? Oh, another thing that you want to check before you get there, and this is something that you may end up checking while you're stitching if you forget it. Make sure your thread is on the correct thread path. Make sure that it's threaded correctly. Just do it. Just look over it. If you know that you recently changed out thread colors or you changed out a needle or anything might have happened, you had a thread break and you had to check the thread path, because a lot of times like I've had issues and it's really just my thread path. Then sometimes the thread gets caught underneath the spool. That causes you problems. And you may look and say, oh no, it's fine, but definitely check your thread path. That's very important to check. Just do a once over on your machine before you even get started. Maintenance, check your thread path, make sure your needles are threaded, make sure you have your bobbin cases entered correctly, those sorts of things. Before you get to the machine too, you want to make sure you're hooped correctly, because that could prevent, we already did a test stitch, but you want to make sure that you're hooping your material correctly. You don't want to stretch it. You want it to be taut. You don't want to stretch it though. So make sure that you hoop it correctly and make sure you're using the correct stabilizer for whatever it is that you're doing. That's also important.
So one of the things that one piece, and this might not be for everybody, but for me, with stabilizer and hooping, um, I like for my stabilizer to be bigger than my hoop, not just at the exact right size, because for me, I struggle with that. Even though I'm using mighty hoops, I still struggle. So I like to use the stabilizer that is 15 inches and not 12 inches. Even though my hoop will accommodate 12 inches, I like it to be longer. That way I can make sure it's tight enough and there's no give in it. That's just what I do. I only use my 12-inch stabilizer, like with the 10 by 10 hoops or the smaller hoops. But when I'm using the 11 by 13 hoop, I always use the 15-inch stabilizer.
I like that too. I like for it to be a little bit larger. So just know that you're going to have tension from two different areas. So you're going to have tension from your top thread, and you may also have tension from your bobbin case. Okay, so you got to check, and you can kind of tell, because if you have a stitch out in the back, like when you look at the back of it, you should have two columns of whatever that top thread is, and then you should have one column of your bobbin thread. Okay, if it looks like that, then you're doing good. If it doesn't look like that, then there's a tension issue going on, and so you just have to decide. You have to figure that out. Maybe, adjust the tension at the top if it's the top thread that's off, or if it's the bobbin case, then you may need to adjust your bobbin case or the tension for your bobbin.
So when the Ricoma tech was here, he did a test stitch just to check all of my tension on my needles, and this is what he stitched out. I'm gonna make myself bigger for 1 second. So this is what he stitched out on my machine. He wanted to just check like all the colors. He just used 2 pieces of cutaway stabilizer, and if you look at the back, you can see like with the, let's just look at the T in tiger. So you can see the bobbin thread, and then you can see the color of the thread that was actually used. And so it's really supposed to look like that. It's supposed to be three equal parts of the color. So that's with the yellow, and then there's the orange. So and the black, all of the colors look, they look really good. And this is what the front looks like.
Good. So the testage is important, and like check your attention test. Also helps because you should never see the bottom or your bobbin thread on the top. You should never see it on the top. So definitely do attention stitch out too. Like our machines, they can't. You can create your own uh, attention test file. Our machines, they gave us attention test file to check it out. When you get the Ricoma machine, that's a part of everything they give you up front and on the USB drive that you get, so you can test it out. We've kind of covered quite a few things. So before you even get there, a lot of the things that we're talking about now, like before you even go to your machine, like what to check, these are all things that you would also check during stitching. Like if something goes wrong, this is something that you will check because I'm guilty too. I don't always check it all the time. Like I try to make sure I oil it, but guess what? I don't oil it all the time. I'll be like, oh, I oiled it yesterday. I oiled it yesterday at 3 o'clock. That was late enough. It's
Well,
still
I don't. I personally don't like to oil mine. I'm not even gonna lie because I feel like, especially if I have to embroider something, because I'm always worried about the oil getting on the garment.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you giving somebody an oily garment.
yeah,
I don't like that.
yeah, yeah. I don't like it.
So I'm careful about when I oil it.
But you have to make sure you do your proper maintenance on it. So you'll
I'm
figure
gonna go back to
you'll
the software for 1 second, Patrice.
okay. You'll figure out like how everything works. All right, so I'm getting my tension right on my PE 900 for some reason. Oh no.
So now, so remember the first thing we said, we're back in the software again. With our machines, we save the file first as an RDE. So I did that, and then in order to use the file on the Ricoma, you have to have it as a DST. So I saved it as a DST, and then so that's what's open right here. If you can see the top of my screen right there, this file is the DST. I can go here and go to file, and I can send the file directly to my machine once it's a DST. So I can click right there and I can just send it directly over. I don't have to save it on my USB anymore. I can just send it over once I have it as a DST. So I can just click send and it'll go. I've already done that, so I'm not going to send it again. Also, um, what else I want you to know about this? I think that was what I wanted you to know. To save it as the RDE first, because as the RDE, I can make it smaller, I can make it bigger, I can add another color stop, I can do all the changes I want to do. But once it's a DST, then it's ready to be sent to the machine. Then it can start the embroidery process. But as a DST, I can't really make any changes to it. Should I go over to the machines?
When I see, yeah. So as you guys see, tension is like a big thing with the machines, like figuring it out. Um, that's a big thing. So if you're stitching and you start getting like a bird's nest, and what a bird's nest is like it's a buildup of just like jumbled thread underneath the plate. And that could cause major problem. It's always good to check your machine. But that could be tension in your bobbin case. So you may have to loosen your bobbin case up. But always make sure it's cleaned out. Like I told you guys earlier, I can't find the pigtail here, but I've been like cleaning it out like crazy. Oh, do you want to make the machine bigger, Wanda?
Yeah.
That looks like it's stitching out good.
Yeah.
So, so whatever you saw in the software, that's what you should see on the actual machine. Um, so we talked about using the correct needles. Things like material in your thread. That's super important.
We could talk about tension.
So with tension, what are we gonna cover?
So with the Ricoma, for example, so I'm trying to get to the top. So up here, all of these things impact your tension. So this right here, this roll right here, right? You can adjust your tension here. You can adjust your tension here, and you can also adjust the tension here. This right here will do the greatest adjustment. Then this is the second, and then this is the least. So if your tension is off just a little bit, then you start here. If it's off more, then you will be here. And then if it's off by a lot, like if it's just too tight, you will start, or too loose, you will start here. And you'll know, I wish I had my stitch out, but I don't. I used to keep it, but I don't know if I have it.
So another way to adjust your tension, like your bobbin case, you guys see like these little knobs here on the bobbin case. You would adjust your bobbin case tension there. Generally, it comes as it should, but sometimes it just doesn't. Things get whacked out, and then you would just adjust your bobbin by kind of turning this to the left a little bit or to the right to adjust it.
So I have a thread break. I'm sorry, Patrice. Go ahead.
No problem. Let me check it.
See what's getting ready to happen.
Because she keeps having issues, she had to get attention gathered.
So since the thread is not actually broken, I'm gonna just press start and see what happens. You know what? It might be out of bobbin.
I was about to say. Because sometimes when that happens and my top thread is still in place, and that's not, I always go to the bobbin, it's out.
Completely out. Zero bobbin.
So I always go to the bottom, and if that top thread breaks, then you kind of know it's the top. But usually that's kind of what I'll go to first if the top is still intact, and then the bottom. It's
So
usually
I always use this. I'm sorry. Go. I'm sorry.
no, go.
So I always use this bobbin because I need this little thing to let me know which side is the right side. But you know, you're gonna use whatever works best for you. I have a box of 100 bobbins that I purchased from Amazon. Is linked below the video, and when I'm changing my bobbin, do you want me to make myself bigger, or can y'all see that?
No, make yourself bigger so we can see better.
Okay.
Because this is important. The way that you have your bobbin inside of the bobbin case and the direction is very important.
Y'all see that? So here's my bobbin case. Here's my bobbin. So your bobbin, it should be like a number 9, right? So like 9. We're in our pretending era. I am Jesse. Uh-oh, don't drop it like I just did. But here's the little pigtail at the top. This is what I do. I just pull out some, and then there's a little notch right here. I just kind of go through this little notch. Then I'll come back around. I don't know if y'all can see it good, but there's a pigtail. So I just go around it twice and then I pull. And I just leave some hanging. Then I put it back in there. That's what I do. And then I also look in the bobbin case and I'll see if it's like any thread stuck in there, and I'll spray it with this stuff that should be free. I do. Like why am I paying for that? How did y'all get it in there? And then also on my machine, I know this is a little bit crooked, but hopefully y'all can see it good enough. I'll click OK right here, and then I can float and just go back a little bit. So right now my speed, my float progression is on 5 times. I'm just gonna put it on 1 and then go back a little bit.
No. So you see what Delonda's doing. So you can enter in a stitch number also to do it. You can go forward and you can go back. But this part is very important, what she's showing how to float, because oftentimes I'll be in a rush and I will lose registration because I clicked the wrong arrows. So you see over there, you have the keypad, the arrow pad over on the right before she clicks start. Make don't keep those when you're trying to float back, because that will throw you off. Like you'll lose your registration. You'll think it's fine and you'll click start to go, but you're not necessarily floating back stitches. So what she showed was very, very, very important, because you can lose registration by not doing it the way that she just showed. Sorry, Delonda.
The Ricoma Tech also said when you float back, try to go back by at least 15 stitches. At least. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Y'all see my struggle tree don't wool blight.
And it's important because too, you know how she went back, but the machine was stitching. If you guys saw before that second thread break alert came on, the machine moved forward quite a bit, right? So if she doesn't flow, she's going to have gaps in her design. And like she said, even if you go back a little bit too far, it's fine. It's just going to stitch on top of whatever was already there.
Yeah. Patrice, for this to be auto digitized, I ain't even gonna lie, it still looks good.
It does. It looks good.
Like I will put this on something if I wanted to.
Yeah, it looks really good. It looks really good.
Let me stop it for 1 second. So if I hoop this out, look at that. Can y'all see how good that looks?
Mm-hmm.
That looks very, and that's baby, that's candle thread. Don't whoop at it. It looks good. This candle is looking good. It's looking good. I ain't even gonna hold you. It looks good. Okay, it's looking really, really good. Okay. Let me big up on the thing. All right, so I'm gonna keep going. But anyway, so let's just say my tension was too loose, right? The thread was, it kept breaking. It was loose. It just wasn't working well. What I do I don't always start at the top. Now, when the Ricoma guy was here, he was always, every time he had to adjust something, he was starting at the top. And I go with the general rule. I don't know if y'all know my general rule, but whenever you want to adjust it, if it's too tight, you want to go to the, this is my lefty loosey, righty tighty. So if you need to make it loose, you go to the left. If you want to make it tight, you go to the right. Okay, that's just my general rule. So when he was making adjustments, right, because these are in order, 1 2 all the way to 20. This is not needle number 1, and it goes all the way to 20. Same thing, number 1 all the way to 20, and then these go like this, like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. I can go all the way to 20. All of these 1 to 20, 1 to 20. He would always start his adjustments all the way at the top. I don't always do that. if I feel like mine is too tight or too loose, I normally start down here because I just want to make minor adjustments. That's just what I do. Okay.
Good advice.
And then this thing right here came with the Ricoma, this threader.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are going through and changing like the color of your thread on the thread path, I just keep mine right here because I feel like I'll lose it if I don't. I just keep it right here. It comes in the toolbox, but I'm gonna keep. So now we're on to the next part.
That's stitching out the pumpkin, right?
Yeah, it's doing the little inside piece.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's gonna do the outside of the pumpkin because remember it had two color stops. Okay, I have a thread break. I can see this. So right here, I'm pulling this. This is feeling very, very tight. So the first thing I would do is look behind the machine and see like what's going on. Is it caught on something? Is it stuck? So this is number 4, and I can look. It is caught on something. The thread is actually under the comb.
Mm-hmm.
Patrice, I feel like I'm talking too much. Tell me what you
No,
want.
no, no, you're good because we're following along.
Okay.
What's happening?
So I'm looking at this, and my thread was actually stuck under the comb. All right. So now I'm gonna stick this in here, and with this, so I can y'all see that really good? That this is number 4.
You
So
can
I'm
see.
looking. I'm pulling this. You can see how this is pulling right here. I don't know if y'all can see. Let me see if I pull it up. See right here. If I pull this, see this is pulling down. If this is too tight, then I would be adjusting this, but it doesn't feel too tight. It feels good actually. So I'm going to stick this through here. And I always like to cut a little piece off. So I get my scissors. I like these scissors right here. I did link them below. I like these a lot. These are those ginger scissors. They're like 20 something dollars, but they're worth every dime. All right.
Oh, you like a pair of scissors?
I do like these, but sometimes I can't find them because my coworker moves them.
Coworker likes them too.
Baby, he loves them. That's what I need to get him for Christmas. Some sisters. But you know what I got him? I know he's not going to watch this. I got his logo professionally digitized
Nice.
for a cap and for left chest and for center.
Nice. You gonna put it on something for? You gonna put it on like a
Yeah,
post?
I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna stitch it all out and put it in a box.
Oh my goodness, that's gonna be so nice.
He's gonna love it. He's gonna love it. He's gonna be so surprised.
Mm-hmm. Look at you embracing your coworker. I
That's
love it.
my son. He's
Yes.
my son. Peter always say you're gonna regret it if he's not here, so better enjoy it.
Mhm. Yep. And so now she's just re-threading it there.
Okay. So
Everybody's
I don't know if I should talk about this right now, but if you want me to, I will. If you don't, I won't. But with threading, with the needle, Delonda, always have a problem with making sure the needle is facing the right direction. I have a problem with that a lot, lot. So I purchased these little magnets from the what's their website? Melco. And if you put the magnet on the needle, it'll let you know if the needle is facing the right direction.
See, oh, that's perfect.
So if I put this, can y'all see my needles? Let me
I'm
see.
pretty,
So if I put this right here, see, can you see that?
yeah, we see
That
it.
lets me know the needle is facing the right direction. So I test all of my needles when I switch them out, and then I make sure they're facing the right direction because a lot of them were not facing the right direction.
I think that's a great tool. And
this was like $9.
I think it's a great tool, and that's also good for troubleshooting because that could be a problem that you're having. Why your thread keeps breaking, why it's not stitching correctly because the way that your needle is spaced. So I think that was good.
Okay. So I'm going back. So now I need to go back. I need to float back because I'm having an issue. And you can see this red light is flashing. That means there's something wrong, right? So I'm
Mhm.
going to float back some, and I can look at my design right here and see that I have a thread break, right? It stopped right there. But according to my machine, all of this is stitched and it's really not. So I need to go back. So I'm just gonna hold this down. Now I can go fast. I can put it on 5 times or even 10 times, but I'm not gonna do that. Maybe just put it on one and just hold this and go all the way back to where it was supposed to start. And then press start again. Yes. Meredith, your eyes are not old like mine. I'm sure they're not. I know this is crooked. I'm sorry.
Let's see now. Robin's Creation said, dropping knowledgeable gems. I never knew that was even an option. Miss Sharon Davenport said, wow, never heard that before. Sean at Go Savvy says, save so much time. That magnet is life.
Go
Yeah.
to the Melco website. They have it for like $9 because you can get. That's the only one I found that I like. I searched on Amazon and I searched at Joann, but I did not find anything. It's literally just this, and it comes with two. It comes with, hold on, two of them in a pack, and it was like nine. It may have been $14. I think I had to pay $5 for shipping or something like that. But it comes with two in a pack.
If you are watching the video, please remember to like this video, give it a thumbs up while we're here. I just went on the phone and the numbers. Just go ahead and like the video.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Looking great.
Hey, Reese.
Look at this. It's stitching out beautifully. You may say, you know what, well, it's stitched out perfectly fine. But this is still a part of the process. It's 100% a part of the process. You want it to stitch out really good
Yeah.
for the test stitch.
It has 2 minutes left.
And what speed are you on?
6:40.
Now, I know we want to get things
I can
done.
speed it up, but I don't like to speed it up. Just like, thank you. Thank you, Renee. Hey, Sonic.
Yeah, everything doesn't need to be super fast, and especially if you have intricate designs too, you don't everything should not be stitched fast. Like I slow down my speed for certain projects.
Do you want me to rethread my one color, Patrice, or
Yeah,
you want to put?
you can read through. I didn't put my other my iPad up, so we can go through. You can rethread it so we can see. Like threading is super important, super duper important. Meredith said they couldn't have made the needle eyes any more smaller. Nope.
I know, and then having it has to be a certain direction that just killed me.
Yeah. Thank you, Renee.
49 seconds. Y'all, if you're finding this helpful, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel.
Yes. 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 Machines.
Okay, so it's going to do a song. That song is music to my ears, okay? Just want you to know that. Okay?
Were you dancing?
Yeah. So look, let me make it bigger, bigger.
Very cute. That would look nice on a towel too. Wrong, bigger, bigger.
Add to stage. Go all the way
That would
out.
look nice on a towel.
I don't know what the magnet is called. Look, I have to look back at my order.
I have to find it. I'll look for it.
Okay. It's on the Melco site though.
Okay.
So now when I look at it on the back, it doesn't look as good. Like some of the bobbin, like I feel like it should have been. See how it's a little bit like it should be three equal parts of the color. So it should be 2 parts bronze and 1 part white for the bobbin. It looks okay. And then on that gold, it looks like it's a little bit too tight because you can't even see the bobbin thread, and you should be able to see it. So even though nobody can see the back when you're wearing it, it still matters because that lets me know that this is tight. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. Bueller. So I'm putting this back because I want to talk about something else on here. So look right quick at my I don't know if you can see it good, but how this is hooped. When you have the hoop on the machine, because this is troubleshooting too, when you have the hoop on the machine, you want to make sure that the hoop is not loose in the brackets because that'll make you lose registration, right? So if I have my hoop in these brackets, there should not be any space in between the bracket and the hoop. It shouldn't be loose in there. It should be completely tight up against the brackets and the hoop. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Patrice, does that make sense what I'm saying? Do you understand? Can you explain it differently?
No, it makes sense. We're talking about the hooping it, right? And making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if you have it hooped correctly, like if you have it, it needs to be taut, like because you don't want it to be loose. If your material is loose inside of your hoop, you're gonna lose registration
I'm
because
talking about in here though, in the
inside
bracket.
of the bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta have a push. I push mine all the way, and it needs to be tight. Like you can tighten the bracket. You see where it goes underneath the little lift. You can
Yeah.
tighten that up so that it does not move. But whenever you unhoop or when you remove the hoop from the machine, you just want to make sure you push it all the way up. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but because you can lose registration if the hoop is not in here securely, if it's not tight. So like,
Yeah.
see how that's like it's not in there tight right there. I don't know if y'all can even see that, but you want to make sure it's tight because if it's not, you can lose registration. And losing registration is it's like ghosting on sublimation, right?
You can ruin. Yep.
And you can ruin it, and it's not going to look good. It'll make the design be crooked, like fall. The A might have been down here when it's supposed to be right next to the F.
Um, I'm looking for that magnet on the. It's on the Shop Milko site, right?
Let me look. I'll pull it, see if I can pull it up. I'm pretty sure I got it from Melco. Let me look. Hold on. Uh, let me look. Let me think. Let me look.
I saw something. Oh,
Yeah, I got it from. Okay, it's called a. Let me tell you exactly how much I paid for it. One second. It is called a. How much did I pay for this thing? Hold on.
I see one, but it's more like the one that I see that's a magnet looks like a tube, kinda like a magnet tube.
No, that's not what I got. If that is what it is, that's not what I got. I got it's called a magnet needle orientation.
Magnet needle orientation.
And it's from, let me see. It's item number 34274.
You gonna drop the link?
I don't have a I'm just looking at my order.
Oh, okay.
Let me see, I don't have a link. Let me see.
See, I see
Melco, it's from
orientation,
Melco.
but it looks a little bit different than the little.
Maybe they sent me something different then. Hold on, Melco.com.
It could be mean on magnet for needle alignment.
Let me see what it's called. Embroidery printing software. Embroidery machines, Bravo. Shop accessories, Shop Melco. Shop Melco. So I got a
Use if it's right on the eye. Okay,
magnet.
it, I think.
Oh yeah, I see that. That's not what I. If I did get that, I don't use that. Oh yeah, yeah. It came with that, but I don't use that.
Oh, okay. That's a part of it.
It comes with that, but it
Okay.
also came with that little thing right there.
Okay. Okay. So then that's it. You want me to drop the link?
How much is it for? Oh, it's $4.
It's for. Did you buy two?
Yes, because I felt like I was gonna lose one.
I'm gonna drop the link
Okay.
because I have it, but it just looked different. But we got it. We got it. Oh, I gotta join the chat.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Here it is. It this.
Continue. Continue.
See it? Can y'all see that?
Yep. Oh. Give me 1 second, Delonda. It's not gonna let me do it here. YouTube. YouTube. Okay. I'm dropping the link now. Paste.
So yeah, it works the same though. Look, let me see. Can you see it on there? I have it on needle number 1. Let me make myself bigger.
I just dropped the link.
See, I have it right here on needle number 1. Let me put it on needle number. Uh-oh. Just kidding, y'all. You're so funny. See, it's on needle number 3. Let me put it on needle number. If it's not staying in the front, then you have it. Your needle is on wrong.
Go. Can you go in closer a little bit?
Can you see it? Can you see it? I have one right here.
Mm-hmm.
See it?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can see it right there.
Yep.
And then I have, but you can use the little flat one too. but I just needed something to help my eyes because I'm older.
Oh, that's helpful.
Thank you, Francine. Thank you so much. All right. So, do you want me to do a thread change, color change,
Yeah, let's do that.
or you want to do it? Because I feel like I've been talking too much.
No, you're fine. I don't have my other camera up. You're doing a wonderful, like, girl. You're doing
She's
an amazing
lying.
job. No, you are doing an amazing job. You are. Oh, hey, Mia
She's
Bear.
lying. Hey, Marilyn.
I'm gonna order one of those. I haven't needed it, but I think that's good because you just never know. Like, it's good to double check and you can make sure that your needles are in the correct way. And remember, you really should be changing your needles based on the material that you're using. So I don't do that all the time until I start having problems. Then I want to do it.
Do y'all need to see me do a thread? I did a whole video that's just all about changing the thread, like going through the full path. And I'll make sure I link that below. But do you want me to change the thread? Because there's two ways to do it.
She don't want to change the thread right now.
I will, but I mean, they might not even need to know that.
So with multi-needle machines, you don't have to change your threads often unless you just don't have the colors on there. And if you have a lot of different threads, and if you're doing like a specific color match, so like let's say if you're doing for the Houston Rockets and they have a specific red that they use, like then
Yes.
you're gonna be changing your colors out. But with multi needles, you kind of keep the same thread in. And there are two different ways that you can do it. You can do a full thread change, or you could cheat a little
Yeah,
bit.
you could do it cheap.
Go hacky. So okay, so Victoria said that she saw it. She saw your video.
Good. Okay.
So I think we made. Nobody said that they really needed to see it.
Okay. Perfect. Great.
So let me find it, and then we can just you can link it.
Link it. Okay. So just really, what else is on the list?
We've covered quite a bit. We've covered quite a bit. Let me go back to my email. But I think we've covered quite a bit of troubleshooting.
We talked about tension. We talked about changing the needle, changing the thread. Oh, resizing the design. So let's talk about that. Link it. Okay, perfect. So look, let's go back to the design, right? This
Hmm.
one is finished. I'm getting out of embroidery mode. Let's just say I got to the machine and I thought, you know what, this design, let's say I wanted to use this, but I didn't want it to be this big. Sometimes, well, and I know I've done this like live. And we went into the journal because I was out of order. If you want to resize the design, you should not resize it more than 10% of the size, right? So, like if I go over here to design settings, I'm in setup mode. I don't know if y'all can see where I'm at setup mode, right? I'm in setup mode. I go to design settings. Right now, the size of the design is at 100% of what you saw it in Chroma, right? But if I wanted to make this smaller, I should not go smaller than 90%. So I can go right here and I can change it to 90 like that, and then it'll make it smaller. But if I wanted to go like to 80, I'm going to mess up the design by doing that.
Hmm.
Okay. So don't do that. So let me just click. Like, so you want to save design and say cancel. I don't want to do that. What else? Changing the thread, all in the machine. So let's talk about that. So with these machines, there are certain places that are oiled regularly, and then there are some places that you don't. You don't have to do it so often. Like with that lithium thread, the one in the tube, you don't have to do that one so much. But with this, Patrice, I'm gonna just you might have to jump in right here because I'm not I know I'm not gonna say enough right here. But with these, like if you look behind here, you can actually move this out
Mm-hmm.
and oil behind here. If you have a machine that's similar to this, like if you have a 10 needle or 15 needle, you can put the oil like in these, what are these called?
Those are the
Spirals. What is
yeah
it?
for the press. So I usually when I drop my oil in there, I usually drop it at the top of the spiral where of that, and that's all connected to your presser foot. Remember, that's going up and down, and y'all see how many stitches. Some of the designs have thousands and thousands of stitches, and your needle, your machine is going that. So I usually put like one drop in each at the top, and then that oil is just gonna go down, gradually go down and stay lubricated. So I usually put it, and you do need to do that.
Mhm.
You do need to do that.
The only problem I have is my only suggestion is don't do it on the same day that you plan to embroider something, because baby. So you can just do it like just let it like here at the top, and you'll see it's gonna just start to pour down. But my machine, I oiled it. Today is Sunday. I think I oiled it Thursday,
Mhm.
so it's still kind of
It's
oily, I would say. Yeah. So just put it at the top and just let it slide down, right?
yeah.
And do that for every single needle. And
Mhm.
then also, you want to oil in your where your bobbin case is. So if I take this out, there's a hole right here above the bobbin case. You want to put a
Mhm.
little drop in there, and then also inside the bobbin case, there's like on the top right and the top left. If y'all
Turn
can
your
see,
camera down a little bit. Yeah. And you remember, you're gonna take out that bobbin. You're gonna take
take
out the
out the bobbin,
thread. You don't want to oil that up. You don't want to.
and in there.
Yep.
And then there's also a hole in the back of the machine. I can't go all the way back there, but there's a hole. If you have the same machine, you should drop a little one drop of oil in there too.
Mhm.
But the Ricoma Tech said, definitely. Well, hello, pajamas. It's almost tomorrow. I've been up. What Joan Tisdale made for you. Let me see. Oh, she made that for Milo? Oh, that's so cute. Oh, Joan Tisdale made Milo a bandana.
Aw.
It's so cute. I'm gonna show y'all when I get back to the other side. But anyway, it's so cute. Oh my gosh, and it's red. It's cute. It's really cute. So yeah, you want to oil in there. But the Ricoma Tech said that the bobbin case inside there gets really hot, so you definitely want to keep that oil. All right. All right.
So if you're starting a project, they typically say like every 4 hours on our machines on the side, like it says like how many hours, like every 4 hours, oil this, every 6 months, 3 months, oil that, use this. It says it on the machine. So if you do like a test stitch out, let's say you oil your machine, you haven't oiled it in days. I usually have to oil mine at the top of the day because I didn't oil it the day before. If you do that, then definitely you want to do a test stitch first so some of that oil could drain. But don't oil it too much. One drop goes a long way. Like just like
Yes.
one little drop. Don't, it's not the Tin Man. Okay, you ain't gotta keep oiling them, just one little drop. And that works great.
I found it, Patrice.
Let's see.
The
This.
the test stitch. So since I have this is really for 16 because this is 16 different colors, but you can tell. So the Ricoma Tech did this. You can tell which thread needed some adjustments. Can I make myself bigger, bigger?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm talking so much. Oh my
Not
gosh.
too much.
Okay.
Talking.
Okay. So right here, let me show you one that's really good. All of these look good. Well, this one is really, really good. This one right here, see, it's like 3 parts of equal colors. That's really good. Hey, Ernie. See, that's kind of like I say it's tight. So some of them are tight where you only see a little bit of bobbin thread. I don't know which one he did first because here's another one. I don't know about that, Kristen. But you look at that.
Mm-hmm.
So you can even see the difference. I think maybe this one was first. And then he did this. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
That one, the bobbin in the middle is too thin.
Yeah. Well, Sharon, I don't know as much as Patrice. So that's why I'm careful about what I share because I don't want to steer y'all in the wrong direction.
I don't know anything.
Yes, she does.
So that's better.
Yeah. So you can see that. I think the blue looks okay. I mean, I think, oh, this one looks really good right here.
Yeah, that one's good.
So when he was testing them out, he knew just by looking at the tension what needed to be adjusted in terms of being loose or what was too loose and what was too tight. So you definitely want to do a tension test. I wonder if I can share that file.
Was that the one with the one that you just did now? The one that you have now?
But the one I have one that's a 20 colors, but it's not H's, it's just lines.
Yeah.
I have it. I don't know if I can share it. Can I share that? I don't know.
I know.
I should ask. I'll ask if I can share it. What else, Patrice?
I think we kind of okay. Let me look at my notes again. Resizing, how to oil. We talked about oiling the machine. There's also another bar that you can oil in the back. The bar that takes the head back and forth. We talked about the needle, how to replace the needle. Do we want to cover that? We kind of talked about it a little bit, but we did talk about you just need your Allen wrench to unscrew to loosen it up
and use a needle to put the other needle in. So let me show you. And Meredith had a question about the oil. Yes, Meredith, I got mine. I got the tube of oil from the lithium oil. I got that from Walmart, actually.
Where's mine? I think mine.
Yeah, you don't have to do that one that much. But let me show you what I was talking about with the needles.
Hopefully this is super helpful to you guys. I think it's helpful. It's a lot of good information. We kind of covered everything that we set out to cover. We talked about thread paths, types of thread.
It does come with oil, Victoria. But
cleaning the case. It does come with oil, but you're gonna use a lot of the oil, so you don't have to get more, but it does come with a good amount of oil.
So I'm gonna make myself bigger again. Patrice? I'm gonna make myself bigger.
Okay. Clean.
Okay, so here's a needle, right? This is just like one of the standard needles. With the needles, there's a specific way that it has to be in the machine in order for it to work right. Otherwise, you're going to keep having a lot of thread breaks. That happened to me because I did not realize that there's a specific way the needle needed. And I'm sure it had been covered, but I must have missed that because a lot of this was way over my head. Please be advised that there is a learning curve that comes along with embroidery. There is a learning curve. There is a learning curve. there is a learn. Let's all say it together. There's a learning curve. There's a learning curve that comes along with embroidery. It's not like any other craft that I've ever done because I don't have a sewing machine. Well, I do have a sewing machine, but it's in a secret location. Okay, and it's gonna be there forever. Okay. Now, so here's a standard needle, right? One of the embroidery needles. With the needle, there, if you feel it, there's like a little groove in the back of the needle. That groove should be in the back. It should be like facing the machine. You shouldn't even be able to see it. But when you're replacing the needle, what they suggested at Ricoma is that you use a needle to replace the needle. So you would put this needle in the eye of the needle that you're replacing, like this, and then kind of use it to push the needle up into the machine. Mm-hmm. For me, I struggle with that, and that's why I needed that magnet to help me make sure I had the needle in the right direction because I had a hard time seeing that. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but see if I can make it way so that you can see it. See, there's a little groove. There's a groove. I don't know if you can see that. I don't even know how to help you see it.
See it, yeah. We can. I can see it a little bit in the back. We can see it. It's a little blurry, but we can see it. I could see the groove.
Okay, so that groove goes in the back. And you can use the magnet to make sure you have the needle in the right direction. Push the needle all the way up and use the tip of a different needle to kind of, navigate the needle and turn it the way you need to turn it. Just stick this in and it'll help you, turn the needle so you have it in the right direction. Mm-hmm. Okay. I can show, I don't have a link for the one I bought from Walmart, but I can show it to you. But everything else, like these needles, they're gonna come with the machine. The other needles that I purchased, because I bought some stronger needles for doing hats, structured hats. They are already linked below the video. No. Let me find the oil. But it just has lithium grease or something like that. You have yours, Patrice?
I can go grab it.
Okay. Oh, it's right here. This is the one I bought.
Oh.
And you're going to need that spray can of air. You need that too. The machine doesn't come with that.
Did you show yours already?
Yeah, let's see yours. Okay, let's see Patrice's.
I use this one from a text. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hey, LCT. Okay. Sharon Davenport said they make a needle holder thingy that will hold the needle while putting it in. It grips the needle, looks like a tweezer. That's why I usually use a tweezer, though. because it can be a little bit challenging trying to get that needle in.
It is. Needle ease. Oh, I saw that it was like 90 something dollars. The needle ease thing. There's like a little tool. Like it might have been $110. I saw that. But so far, actually, that little $4 thing worked perfectly for me. So $70. Oh, okay. Couldn't justify it, even though I could claim it on my tax. Just couldn't justify it. I said, let me just see if I can try this first. And so far, so good.
It's working fine. Pretty good, pretty good. I don't think there's anything else.
Any other questions? Anything? Somebody had a question about chroma.
About chroma.
How to do applique? I don't know how to do it with Chroma Inspire. I don't know how to do that.
I mean, with applique, you just do like, what is it that you want to do? Like,
This is her question.
On how to do applique. So it's going to be a 3-step process. In Chroma Inspire, you're going to create your points. So you're going to draw your lines around the text. And then for each one, you're going to make your run stitch. You're going to make 2 run stitches, which is going to be your placement and tack down stitch. So 1 placement stitch, 1 tack down stitch. And then you're going to create the satin column around that. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I can go back to Inspire and show. Not today though. But
Yeah, because today is about maintenance and troubleshooting.
Yeah, I can show how to do that.
Maybe we'll do another one just on Chroma tips.
Yeah, we can do that. And then like applique, because even though it's going to be in Chroma, you can use like what we're showing in different softwares. It's basically the same thing. You just have to see how to apply it into different softwares or even with different machines. All machines need to be oiled. So if you don't get a Ricoma, if you get any other type of machine, just know that that's what you're going to have to do. Or these are just common problems that you may be facing too.
What do you mean? I was trying to find the vinyl in Joanne for embroidery. I don't know. I don't understand that question.
Yeah.
They have faux leather on big rolls. I've seen that. I don't know what you mean though, vinyl.
Yeah. Awesome, Stephanie. So yeah, to find the vinyl. Which vinyl? We've used a few different vinyls. We've used glitter HTV. We've used we've used vinyl. We've used the clear vinyl that we've used before, the transparent vinyl that we've used.
Oh yeah, that's also, it's on those big rolls.
HTV for applique. I mean, you can use HTV for applique. Just know that also like that could also cause an issue. So even when you're using the glitter HTV, those glitter specks will enter into your bobbin case. Okay, and that could cause other issues for you too. So anytime you're using that, you want to make sure you clean it out really well. Using the HTV may gum up your needle too a little bit. So you just have to be very careful, and just know that you need to just clean and maybe change out that needle. Oh, that's what she was looking for. So yeah, it's there.
Yeah, they have it on the big rolls. It's just clear. It looks like clear. It looks like clear plastic or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you can just tell them how much you want and they'll cut it for you.
Yeah.
But really, you can get that from Amazon because then you have more options.
And HTV. Yeah, when you would use. Yeah. I hope you guys found this very helpful. Thank you guys letting us know that you found it helpful. It really helps us to know, like, if we're giving good content, good information, and it helps us to go back and, say, hey, maybe we need to share this. Maybe, other people need to do this. So thank you guys for the feedback. Good night, Angel.
Angel. All right, let me look at my thing. Thing.
We still need to see Milo's bandana.
Oh, Milo, come here, my light. Come here, my light. You want him to see your bandana? You want to look really cuter today. Oh my gosh, this is so. You looking really
You
cute.
still have this dress on?
But you still have on a dress?
Oh, that is cute. Oh, Milo, that's so cute.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that little button too.
Joan Tisdale made this for him.
That's super cute, Milo.
Now the nails, I don't know, but the bandana is cute.
That's cute.
You're looking really cuter than that.
Innocent.
You're looking very, very cute.
You look innocent.
Go to treat. Let me give him a treat right quick.
Okay. So we've covered quite a bit, y'all. We've covered quite a bit. Hopefully this was helpful. We talked about testing your design, maintenance, tension, your thread paths, hooping. Covered quite a bit.
We did. So hopefully that was, we talked about more than this stuff, but we talked about tension because the goal was to learn a few tips and tricks for troubleshooting during embroidery. So we talked about tension. We talked about oiling, how to not lose registration, changing the needle, changing the thread. There's a video. I'll make sure I link it. And resizing the design. Don't do it more than 10%. And we also talked about before you even get to the machine, right? We talked about what to do before you even get over there, because there are some things that need to happen before you get over there. Y'all, let me say this, because and I know I'm talking a lot this time, but I definitely just feel like I have to say this. Even though this discussion is about embroidery, this really applies to any machine. When you purchase a machine, please know you are going to have to know how to do some troubleshooting. We do troubleshooting that you don't even see all the time. Sometimes, like on Thursdays, I don't do any crafts on Thursdays anyway. It'll just be a day where I'm just troubleshooting and working behind the scenes so I can actually do the craft. But you're going to have to know how to do that. And a lot of times it's going to just be trial and error and figuring it out. Sometimes you're going to cuss. And sometimes you might be swearing at the machine. I'm not even going to lie. And mad and crying and frustrated and drinking, all the things. Because it's not all fun and games. I just want you to know that in advance. And it really is not about the machine. It's really... a lot of this is just going to come with knowledge and time, swearing and preparing. That's it. Just like scratching and surviving. Yes. Swearing and preparing. Okay. So just know that. Please know that. Okay. So I want to say that.
Yes. Very good information. Jess. I'm in love getting to know the ins and outs. Yes, just be patient. Be patient. Have grace with yourself. If you feel like it's just overwhelming, walk away. Come back the next day. I did that a lot in the beginning. In fact, I would walk away and come back the next week. Okay? Yes. So, but have patience. Have grace for yourself. But you can get it done.
And don't feel like you have to know everything, y'all. I've been doing this. I think 8 months. And there's so much I still don't know. It's so much I don't know. And I'm always afraid to share the little bit that I do know because I don't want to confuse anybody.
Yeah.
Kanaya, do you have the Ricoma? No, run away. Thank you, Meredith. Kanaya, do you have a Ricoma? A locking tweezer. Okay. EM1010. Okay, so with that, and that's a great question, Kanaya. Let me show you.
Because you have to adjust your brackets.
Yeah.
So the EM1010 is different from this machine. This machine, you can literally just take the brackets off and fit it on there, but you have to unscrew the in the back, and it's gonna just glide and slide it on. So that's how it's gonna fit your hoops. But then there's two screws on the frame, and then you're just gonna loosen it up. Once you loosen it up, you'll be able to adjust that your two frame sides that way.
So
Thank you.
Kanaya, I don't know what I don't even know what hoop this is. This might be D. D mother. Okay, this is D, but don't worry about it. Uh so Kanaya, what you need to know with these, like, so this is a Ricoma hoop, right? This is the D hoop. With this bracket, there's a bracket like this for the EM1010, Patrice?
No, so the EM1010, they have the bracket, but it's more so like a bar bracket. Like it's more so like a U-shaped bracket, but with
Oh,
edges. Yeah, it's different. It's different than the marquee. But it's all she has to do is loosen up the back, and it'll slide. It'll glide on. That's
I don't
it.
have. I wish I had one to show, but I don't. Can I? But is the thing like this, Patrice? Is that, do you have to slide it in there in between here? No. Okay, I don't
It's
know.
com- it's just like this. This is what the bracket. This is what it looks like. And then you kind of, so this is what it looks like. That's the bracket. And then it literally has like screws here, and you place it on the machine, the bar of the machine. And but these are adjustable. So you unscrew, there's one on the left side facing the machine, your left. You'll just unscrew, you'll loosen those two screws up right there, and then you'll just glide it over to until it fits the hoop that you have. But that's it. It's not hard to do it. It's, you can just loosen it up and slide it like that. It's adjustable, but it's not like the ours. It's not like this one.
Okay, so you just have to loosen it up.
Yeah, you gotta loosen it up. Yeah, you'll get it. It's a lot of things to learn, but once you get it, you're gonna feel so good about it. You're gonna love it. But just be patient with yourself.
Yeah, and don't try to learn everything. Just like, okay, this week I'm just gonna learn how to replace the needle. You know,
Hmm.
the next week I'm just gonna learn how to switch out the thread. Like, just do one thing at a time. Just do one thing at a time. You will overwhelm yourself, I promise.
Yeah, yeah.
Miss Nene Designs, I think if you contact them, they might send you another baggie. Cause I lost the top of my, I think my coworker did it, but he won't admit it, but it's gone.
He said it was you. You know these coworkers, girl. These coworkers are blaming for any and
They
everything.
ain't gonna admit to nothing.
Mm-mm. I don't blame them.
Okay, so I think we did good. Unless y'all have any other questions, did we accomplish our goal?
I think we accomplished it. I think we accomplished it.
Patrice, Mary Brown won a Caesar Juliet.
That is awesome, Mary Brown.
And
Congratulations.
so did Kristen.
I heard Kristen won yesterday. I heard about it yesterday. That
Yes.
is so good.
Yes.
Both Caesar Juliets.
Caesar Juliet's. Atlanta Vinyl did their big one, baby, for my group.
That was so nice.
Super nice. I'm excited. I'm super excited. I'm excited for everybody. This whole weekend has just been amazing.
Great
And
weekend.
I should have started with that just at the beginning. This community has been blessed beyond anything I could ever wish for, hope for, imagine, think, pretend. It's been amazing, and I'm grateful, and it's just it's just been amazing. It's just been so exciting. Jennifer Ricci, did you check Facebook?
I think you started off talking about Jennifer Ricci when we came on. Well, not when we came on the live, but when we were behind backstage.
Oh, Kristen, I'm still scared to do that. All right, so maybe we'll do another one like this too, Patrice. We'll do like create, maintenance, create, maintenance. Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right. Okay.
That'll be
All
a good
right.
idea.
Thank y'all for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Later.
Yeah, we love you so much. Thank y'all for joining us. And if you did not like the video, like the video. No, y'all have been Mary Brown. Don't make me cry because I've already been crying all weekend. I'm over. I'm trying to get my thoughts together. Okay. Thank y'all for being here. We appreciate you more than we can express. If you didn't like the video, make sure you like the video. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, subscribe to this channel and subscribe to Patrice's channel. And look out for Eve should be live later tonight. Okay. Bye, Dims. Hey, y'all. Okay. Bye, y'all.
Later.